Hello friends, in our previous lecture we have completed two columnar cash book for cash and discount. Now again we are going today for cash and bank two columnar cash book. And one more thing I have to tell you, that as you know, vacation has been announced as per the school, but I will continue my classes daily basis. Okay, so we are not stopping our portion, we are every day continuing our portion. Now friends, you all have time because other subjects have been temporarily stopped and my subject is running, and most of the people are still in the previous chapters which I already completed before 10 to 15 days. So you all are 15 days late. So now you have the time, watch 2 lectures daily, 2 or 3 lectures daily, and then cope up with me daily. Previously all were daily sending the works. Nowadays I cannot see the works also. This is because of your laziness and ignorance towards your studies. But again I will repeat that nothing will be repeated in the school. We are just continuing when the school is opening, where I have left last day. So now think about yourself that if from 18th November, that is vacation opening, you have to come to school regularly, and still you are 15 days back of the lecture, then nothing you will understand. Then at that time responsibility will be of yours, not the school, not of me. So think about it and then attempt my lectures, otherwise ignore my lectures, as so many of the people are doing. Ignore my lectures, let the lectures go on daily, let me do the hard work daily for you. Ignore all the things, and when you come to school then we will ignore you. This is the simple sense for this online education, that if you are taking it seriously, it's okay. Not taking it seriously, then also it's okay. Effect will be on you. Okay, so with that thing I am starting my lecture today. We are having a cash and bank two columnar cash book, and that is an important topic because now 2 columns will be of cash and bank. So what to do when we are depositing the cash? Cash is coming in but bank is going out. And what happens when we are withdrawing from the bank? And all such transaction, first we have to see the theory part on page number 163. In this type of cash book, an additional column bank is inserted on both sides of simple cash book. Means in simple cash book only simple amount for cash was there, here amount of bank will be also there. This column is kept to record the transaction with the bank. Bank is treated as personal account, hence debit the receiver, credit the giver for personal accounts will be applicable. Such cash book has bank account and cash account. In this case, as bank is treated as a person, the rule of personal account will be applied, that we know. Cash account is treated as an asset, so the rule of real account is applicable. Again they are repeating the rules. Number 1, when cash is deposited, check is deposited, draft is deposited, any debtor deposit money directly in the bank, bank credits interest on various incomes after collecting the same in our account, our bank balance is increasing. Now our bank balance is increasing for what? When we are depositing the cash, when we are depositing any check, when we are depositing any draft, it is just like a check. Any debtor is depositing money in our bank account, or bank is crediting our interest. After our bank balance will increase, so it will be shown on debit side. In this transaction bank is receiver, hence it will be debited as per the rule. In cash book the above mentioned transactions will be recorded on debit side in bank column. Now when cash is withdrawn, amount is paid by check, bank debits commission, bank charges, overdraft interest, bank pays expenses on our behalf, our bank balance is reduced. In this transaction bank is giver, hence it will be credited as per the rule. Therefore above mentioned transactions will be recorded on credit side of cash column. So a bank column, in any way our bank balance is increasing than debit, our bank balance is decreases than credit. So what is the specimen? Date, particulars, receipt number, LF, cash, then bank. Then same way date, particulars means payments, voucher number, LF, cash and bank. We have seen a simple cash book that cash payment can never more than receipts. Therefore the closing balance of cash account is always debit balance. As you all know, in the cash book when we are having cash column, always debit side is more, same total of debit side we are writing on credit side, and we are just subtracting because in cash we are having more cash, we cannot have minus cash. Okay, so in cash always debit side will be more. Now what they are talking about bank, but here two columnar cash book, bank column is prepared differently. In bank column, if the total of receipt is more than total of payment, bank will also have debit balance. Debit balance which is treated as closing bank balance. In bank column, if the total of payment column is more than the receipt, it will have a bank overdraft which is discussed here. See, bank can have a negative balance, cash cannot have a negative balance. If in our pocket we are having 5,000, then we can spend maximum 5,000. Okay, we can do credit transactions, but cash transaction we can do maximum 5,000. So always debit of cash means receipt of cash will be more than its payment, so the balance will be on credit side. Now see, one thing in account you have to know, when we are closing the balance, and if it is on credit side it is known as debit balance, and if it is on debit side it is known as credit balance. Reason you will understand in next upcoming chapter, but if you want you can remember like this. Now they are talking about the bank. In bank it is not fixed. They are telling in simple, I am telling in simple language. Debit side is more, then write the total of debit side on both side and subtract. Balance will be on credit side. And sometimes the payment side means the credit side is more than balance will be on debit side. So in cash it is fixed, always debit is more. But in bank you have to check whether debit is more or credit is more. If the debit is more, then it's okay, we are having bank balance only. If the credit side is more, then it is known as bank overdraft. Now what is this bank overdraft? In simple sense, if I say, if you are having 5,000 in your bank and if you are spending 8,000, then your bank overdraft will be minus 3,000, because that is a simply negative balance. As in our mobile also, if we are having 10 rupees balance, then sometimes we want credit, then also we are taking. Now if we are not repaying the credit, our balance will be minus 11.78. Same thing is here. When the trader, bank overdraft we are seeing, when the trader makes agreement with the bank to withdraw more than the balance in the account up to the fixed amount, such facility is called a bank overdraft. So we can withdraw the more amount than our bank balance, that is our bank overdraft. When trader gets bank overdraft facility, the bank balance can be debit or credit. If the bank column has credit balance, it shows more withdrawal, interest is payable on this withdrawal, that is bank overdraft. Thus, if the total of receipt side of bank column in the cash column is more than the payment side, it is known as closing bank balance. But if the total of payment is more, then it is known as bank overdraft. So remember, in cash always debit is more than credit side, so it is closing cash balance. Now in bank there are two aspects. If debit is more than credit side, it is known as bank balance. If credit is more than debit side, then it is known as bank overdraft. If the opening balance with the bank balance, it is shown on debit side and balance brought down, and if the opening balance is with the bank overdraft, it is shown on credit side and balance brought forward. Now again for the opening balance also we have. See, in cash always the opening balance is on debit side. Now in bank, if it is bank balance, the opening will be debit side. And if the opening bank balance is not there, we are having negative balance, then we cannot write minus here. So we have to write it on credit side, the bank overdraft. So this thing you have to know. Whenever opening bank balance is there, you will start with credit side, and whenever opening bank overdraft will be there, then you will start with the credit side. So much rules are there here. So without reading the theory part, we cannot do the sum. In exam also, if you have some doubts, points I am giving for each and everything. I am giving the important points. Still you want to know the detail, then you must refer the theory as I am teaching. See, I am also just a student like you. You will not believe that because we have not met personally, but I am still a student. And this is my way to learn for my exam. I am also giving exam. It's not that I am not still giving the exam. I am also a student like you people. So how I will do, if I don't know any sum or I am having doubt, then I will refer its theory, because theory will give you the idea for the sums. So we cannot by heart the sums. In our higher studies for accountancy, I cannot by heart each and every sum. So I have to learn the sum. I have to learn the rules. And that way I am learning for me and I am teaching to you people also. Okay? So remember always these things, that anytime you have any doubt in the sum, refer its theory. I am giving the points for each and every sum. Still, if I have left by mistake with any point, then you can watch here. Okay. Yes. Similarly, if the closing balance of bank column in the cash book is bank balance, it is shown on payment side as the balance carried forward. If the closing balance of bank column is bank overdraft, it is shown on debit side. Okay. Now, contra transaction. What is this contra transaction? A new type of transaction we are learning today. Contra transaction means such financial transaction in which cash and bank both transactions get affected. Underline this thing. But I will say one thing, that this contra transaction is possible in the cash book when we have both cash and bank column. If we are simply having cash and discount, then it's not possible. If we are simply having bank and discount, then also cash column is not there, then also it's not possible. It is only possible when we have cash and bank column together. Means in two columnar cash book it is possible, and in three columnar it is also possible, because in three columnar cash book amount is having cash, bank and discount column, which we will learn in next topic. But I am saying that when this contra transaction will be applicable, whenever you are having cash and bank column together in the sum. Contra transaction means such financial transaction in which cash and bank both are affected. Example, cash withdrawn from bank or cash deposited in bank. These are the two contra transactions. Because whenever we are withdrawing the money from bank, bank is the giver, we are receiving the cash. Or whenever we are depositing, bank is the receiver and our cash is going. So only in these two transactions it is confusing, because where to write? On both sides it is to be written? Yes, it is written on both sides. How? Okay. This type of transaction is recorded on both sides of cash book when cash and bank columnar cash book is kept. We have seen that such cash and bank columnar cash book serves the purpose of cash and bank account. Thus, when such cash book is maintained, cash and bank accounts are not required to open separately. Contra transaction affects only cash and bank account, hence posting is not required, but contra C will be written ledger folio number. See, we are preparing a column of LF. I am always saying that nothing will come here, but if we are having this contra transaction, that is cash withdrawn from bank or cash deposited into bank, then if such transaction is recorded on both sides, then we will write C for that. C for contra. Generally, contra transactions are of two types. Which are there? Cash deposited in bank. When cash is deposited in bank, balance is reduced on one hand and bank balance is increased on another hand. Example, cash of 2000 deposited in bank. Now how to record this? Rupees 2000 will be recorded on receipt side. It means debit side of cash book in bank column, and cash account will be written in particulars. Whereas same 2000 will be recorded on payment side. It means credit side of cash book in cash column, and bank account will be written in particulars. So how to record this transaction when we are depositing money into bank account? First, you have to think where money is coming and where money is going. We are depositing the money into bank. So bank is the receiver. So on debit side, you will write in bank column, and on credit side, you will write in cash column. Now in particulars, you have to write opposite. In debit side, you have written in bank column, so you will write in particulars cash. And on credit side, you have written in cash column, so you will write by bank, because both are affected. And you will write C in LF. We will do when the sums is coming. In the same, further C is written in LF number of cash book on both the sides, as contra transactions are not required to be posted. Therefore, LF is not required. But in order to know the nature of transaction, C is in that column. Now, cash withdrawn from the bank. In the same, whenever we are withdrawing the money from bank, cash is coming. So on debit side, we will write in cash column, and on credit side, we will write in bank column. Now in particulars, here we will write bank, there we will write cash. So whenever we are doing the sums, you will understand properly, but here explanation is given. Now we don't try to read that. Okay. Still we are having on page number 165 transactions with the bank. Now let's understand how the transaction between traders and bank are recorded in cash and bank. A. Transactions relating to cash. When any trader or person opens account with the bank gives him paying slip, checkbook, passbook for smoothing of bank transaction. As you know, for depositing the money, we can choose any of these options. Paying slip is used to deposit cash or check received in bank. Check is used to withdraw cash from bank or to make payment by check. Passbook is an abstract of trader's ledger account in the books of bank. Underline this whole paragraph because this is useful for your general knowledge. You are learning in account, you are scoring 100 out of 100, but still if you are going to bank and you don't know how to do this transaction with the bank, and still you are asking to the person, okay, asking, you will not become small. કે તમે કોઈને પૂછશો તમે નાના નથી થઈ જવાના. But still we are learning these things here, then why don't you try practically? And practically if you are trying, then you are afraid that by some mistakes will happen then. So this is for our general sense also. Learning account is not for learning the sum and scoring 100 out of 100. If by chance you are getting 70 marks also, but practical knowledge you are having, then that will be very good for us. Okay, marks is demanded for every teacher and every parent. But it is not the thing that only you are learning for marks. No friends, you are not at all learning for marks. If you are still thinking that bus marks milega to chalega, no. You should have some personal or practical knowledge. If some people will ask you, suppose an illiterate or uneducated person of a greater age, suppose of 50 or 60 years, a uncle is asking you that, son, how to fill this paying slip? કે દીકરા આ સ્લીપ કઈ રીતે હું કરું, મને બેંકમાં રૂપિયા ભરવા છે. And at that time if you are telling that, uncle મને નથી આવડતું, તમે પૂછી લ્યો આગળ. If you know, if you are knowing and if you are by chance if you are saying no, then it's okay, but actually if you are not knowing, then it's a great problem, because we are learning the things here, how to do the things, what is the thing, what affects debit and credit. And if you are unaware of such things whenever you are visiting the bank, then it's really very bad thing for us. So that thing is explained. Let us see. Pay in slip is used to deposit cash or check received in bank. If you are going to bank, you have to deposit rupees 5,000. Near the corner of the bank there will be a paying slip. Normally it is of white color. You will fill all the details such as your name, account number, amount, how much you have. Denominations means 2,000 notes, 1,000 notes are not there, 500, 200, 100. Then you are writing the amount in letters and in digits and in words. You are signing that thing, writing your phone number. Or else if you are not depositing the cash, you are depositing a check received. Suppose I am giving you the check of rupees 10,000. Now in order that 10,000 will come in your account, or you have to cash that 10,000, you have to fill the paying slip such as check number, amount received, and that you have to give to the cashier. Then he will pass and do the transaction. Then checkbook is used to withdraw cash from the bank or to make the payment. Whenever you are opening the account, within 8 days bank is giving you the checkbook. Now that checkbook is carried 10 or 15 or 25 accordance with the bank. This is not fixed. Some checkbooks are having 10 checks, some checkbooks are having 15, and some are having 25. Now based on this you can issue a check to any person for the payments you have to make. Suppose you have to pay the fees to the school, then you are writing a check, you are signing them and giving the check, then school will deposit and your fees will be paid. So it is used for making the payments. Passbook is an abstract of trader's ledger's account in the bank. Bank is also giving a passbook whenever you are opening the account with the bank. So that passbook is abstract means the summary of all the transactions done with the bank. Deposit, withdrawal, interest, expense, all. Nowadays passbook is available online also. So physical passbook thing is now vanished because our transactions are more. So that physical passbook has been vanished and online passbooks have been generated. Sitting at the home at any time you can check your balance. Presently use of check for payments in the business is very common, but still I will say it is also not common, because if you are giving me the check, then I cannot use that amount today, because if you are giving me check today, Today itself I am depositing that check into bank, then till tomorrow evening, if it is not holiday tomorrow is Friday, today is Thursday, so tomorrow if banks are open, if it is not holiday tomorrow, then tomorrow evening I will get them. And suppose tomorrow if it is Saturday, or tomorrow if it is Sunday, then your amount will be credited on the next working day. If still 5 days are holiday, then the amount will come at 6th date. So all such things, all such general knowledge you have to keep, my friends. I will not ask any question that if you are depositing check, then within how many days I will get them. But general knowledge is also important, that what is the use of this checkbook and all. Again, talking for very common transaction now, NEFT, RTGS, which we are learning in this chapter only. You can make the payments online. If still any of the people will know better than me also, NEFT, RTGS, you can within some seconds you can transfer the amount. What is that service? How to use that service? We will learn in this chapter. I will explain all the things very clearly. Check is a negotiable instrument under the provision of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881 in India. Negotiable means transferable. Okay, what is that thing? Again, it will come in this chapter itself. I will explain afterwards. There are three parties in check: drawer of the check, drawee of the check, and receiver of the money. I am writing the check, so I am drawer. I am giving to you, so you are drawing. And again, receiver of the money, if you have to keep some other person, then also you can keep. For example, Gaurang has a check on his account in State Bank of India amounting 1500 to P3 towards his payable. Hence, Gaurang is drawer, State Bank of India. State Bank of India will be the drawee, okay? Here, because it is through check, I have understood by NEFT. And Preeti is the receiver of the money. When customer or debtor gives a check towards amount payable by him, trader deposits check in the bank. There are two types of checks: simple check or bearer check, and second one is crossed check. Then what is simple or bearer check? In bearer check, the bank makes payment to the person who holds the check. See, simple or bearer check is, you can say, a risky check also, because by mistake our check is somewhere lost, then any one person who can get the check and get the amount. So in the check, one word will come. If you are having the check now, you can open your checkbook and see. Or bearer, yaad dharak ko. You have to strike that thing whenever you are giving check to any person, because this is risky. If the check is lost, then your amount will go in the wrong hands. Crossed check. In crossed check, the amount is credited in the bank account of the person whose name is written on the check as payee. Cash is not paid. See, in bearer check, if you are giving the check in bank, then directly they are paying you the cash. But if you are giving a crossed check and that check is lost, then it's not a problem. Suppose if that check is lost and some wrong person is holding that check, he will give in the bank. Nothing he will get, because on the check the name of party is written to whom check is lost. Amount will directly go in his account only. So he cannot cash that check in the crossed check. In crossed check, instructions are given to bank transfer. No cash will come to you. When the customer or debtor gives a check to the trader towards amount payable, then it will be recorded in bank column of cash book on debit side. Customer's name who has been given a check in the return in particulars amount. Suppose if there is a transaction that check received from Mr. A for rupees 10,000, then check is received, so amount will be received by the bank. So bank is the receiver, debit, we will write in the debit column of bank, and we will write the party name, that is A. If no information is given in this respect of check received, then it is recorded on debit side of cash book in bank column, assuming that it is deposited in the bank. Generally, when the cross check is received, it is recorded on receipt side, that is debit side of cash book in bank column, because the amount of cross check is not received in cash but it is credited in bank account. And see, one more thing you have to now remember, whenever we are preparing cash book, if bank is crediting, then it will be debit for us, and there are two effects of transaction. I have explained this thing in second chapter, that bank has credited our interest. So what entry we were writing? Bank account debit to bank interest account. Bank is crediting interest, so we are debiting bank. If bank is debiting, we are crediting bank. This rule you have to remember. When the trader makes payment of amount payable to any person by check, it is recorded on credit side of cash book in bank column. It is recorded on the date on which transaction is issued for payment. Whenever we are paying, then it will be recorded on credit side. Okay, next is endorsement. Now what is this endorsement? When check is received from customers or debtors, the name of creditors or traders is written on the backside of check, overleaf of check, and the payment is made directly, then it is called endorsement. This transaction is recorded in journal proper. Okay, if check is received is recorded on cash book as check deposited in bank, as such is cash is endorsed. It is recorded on the payment side of cash book in the bank column. If any check is disordered, the entry which was made at the time of receipt will be reversed. Now I will explain what is this endorsement. A, B, C. In endorsement there will be three parties. Suppose A have to pay the amount to B and that B have to pay the amount to C. And if we are B, suppose we are B, then A has to pay to B, then for B, A is debtor, B has to pay to C. So for B, C is the creditor. Again I will explain. If you have still not understood, then it's not a problem. B is the person. We are the person B. We have to receive from A, means A has to pay to B. So B has to receive from A. So for B, A is the debtor. B has to pay to C. We are B. We have to pay. So we are creditor. We have to receive. So we are debtor. We have to pay. So it is our C is our creditor. Now we are B. So now, if B is requesting A, that you don't pay amount to me, directly you pay to C, then what will do? A will pay directly to C, because in this link, first A will pay to B, then B will receive, B will pay to C, or else what we can do? A is requesting B, you directly pay to C, so that his amount will be received and his amount will be received. So this is the thing. In between we are always B, because we have to receive from a person and we have to pay that same amount to the other person. In business this thing happens always. We have to pay to our creditors and we have to receive from our debtors, so we can directly request our debtors to pay to our creditors, and in that our settlement will be done. So this thing is called endorsement. Now in endorsement, what is the thing? If you are receiving the check, you will write on debit side. If you are paying the check, you will write on credit side. And if the check is dishonored means rejected, then you have to opposite that. Suppose if check is received, then we have written on debit side. If received check is dishonored, you will write on credit side. Suppose you have paid the check, you will write on credit side. Same check is dishonored, you will write on debit side. So you will just reverse the entry. For dishonor, you will just reverse the entry. And now we are having the next topic. I think this is last topic. After that we can go for the sums. Today, so much time we have done in this discussion only. Bank charges, commission, interest, etc. When bank provides any service to the trader, it collects charges for that. Similarly, if the bill is discounted with the bank or is sent for the collection with the bank charges commission. If the trader has taken overdraft facility from bank charges interest for that. Similarly, bank pays interest on the bank balance. Bank charges commission and interest and overdraft expenses for the trader. Hence, these are shown on the payment side, that is credit side of cash book in the bank column. Whereas interest received on bank is an income for the trader, it is shown on receipt side. So, you have to just think that charges and these commission are our expense, we will write on credit side of cash book in bank column. And if interest is our income, then we will write on debit side, because we are receiving cash, here we are paying cash. So this is all about theory. Now we are writing that theory, then we are doing the sums. If you are unaware of these topics, then you cannot understand the sum. At that time you will just by heart the sum. So we are going for the second. Cash and bank columnar cash book. Cash and bank columnar cash book. Here amount amount column will be for bank and cash. Rule of personal account will be applied for bank and the rule of real account will be applied for cash. Now, opening balance. Regarding opening balance, we are talking. In that, cash is always having a debit open balance. Means if there is cash balance, then it is always a debit opening balance. We have to start it from debit side only. Bank can have both, i.e. means that is debit or credit opening balance. Opening balance of bank is bank balance. Opening balance of bank is bank balance. Then it is debit balance. Opening balance of bank is bank overdraft. In short, we will call as bank OD, or the other name is BOD. Then it is credit balance. So you have to remember, if it is written opening is bank balance, then you will write on debit side. Opening it is written bank overdraft or bank OD or BOD, then it is a credit balance. Now we are writing about closing balance. For cash, always debit, in bracket I will write receipts, are more than credit, in bracket I will write payments. So balance, in bracket difference, will be always on credit side, that is known as closing cash balance. For cash we know always debits means receipts are more than payments. So balance or difference means total of difference, total of credit minus total of credit will be always on credit side, that is known as closing cash balance. For bank, if total of debit, that is receipts, is more than total of credit, that is payments, then the balance in bracket difference will be on credit side, that is known as closing bank balance. Okay, understand the thing what I am telling. For bank, if the total of debit means receipts is more than total of credit, as you know, like cash, total of debit is more than total of credit, then the balance or difference will be on credit side, and that is known as closing bank balance. So see, it is opposite. If it is bank balance, then we will start with debit side, and at the end, if we want to see the bank balance, it will be shown on credit side. How it will be shown on credit side? Because debit is more than credit, so it will be bank balance, and this actual balance is known as debit balance only. And in the same way, I am writing the second point. For bank, if total of credit, that is payments, is more than total of debit, that is receipts, then the balance in bracket I will write difference will be on debit side, that is known as closing bank balance. So see, both will be on opposite side. Now you think about cash. Opening balance we are writing on credit, opening balance of cash we are starting with debit side and we are ending at credit side. In the same way, opening bank balance is on debit side, so closing bank balance is on credit side. Now opposite, opening bank overdraft is on credit side, so closing bank overdraft should be on debit side. So this thing is to be there, but it is not compulsory. Okay, if in opening we are having overdraft, then in closing we can have bank balance also. So how I am telling, if opening of this month we are having negative bank balance, at the end we can have positive bank balance. It is not compulsory that in opening we are having overdraft, so in closing also it should be overdraft, and in opening we are having bank balance, then closing we are having bank balance. It is not compulsory. So this thing also I will write. It is not compulsory for bank that if opening is bank balance, then closing should be bank balance only. It can be bank overdraft also, comma, and if it is opening bank overdraft, then it is not compulsory that closing should be bank overdraft only. It can be bank balance also. So this point is very important. It is not compulsory for bank. If opening is bank balance, then closing should be bank balance only. It can be bank overdraft also. Next point, same line. And if it is opening overdraft, then it is not compulsory that in closing it should be overdraft only. It can be bank balance also. So everything in the bank is dependent on difference. Total of debit is more or total of credit is more. Still we are writing the points. Next we are writing about contra transactions. They are possible when there are cash and bank both columns in two columnar or in three columnar cash book. The first point which you need to know is contra transaction. A contra transaction can only occur, they can only be possible when there are cash and bank, both columns, in two columnar or in three columnar. In two columnar cash and bank both are there, in three columnar cash bank discount. So again both are there. So it is only possible when bank and cash are together given. For contra transaction, sub point number 1. Cash is deposited in bank. Second one, cash is withdrawn from bank. Are the possible transactions where at the same time both the cash and the bank are effected, so entry will be made on both the sides and with that transaction, in LF column C should be written. So this is about contra transaction. Next is endorsement.
for facility of payments. Checks are exchanged into debtors and creditors, comma, if check is received then debit it in bank column, and if check is paid then credit it in bank column. This one, if the endorsement is rejected from above case, then the entry passed before should be reversed. Entry passed for it should be reversed. Bank charges, commission and interest. Simple rule must be remembered for it that if bank is debiting then we will credit bank, comma, and if bank is crediting then we will debit the bank for the transaction. It can be maybe charges, commission and interest. Simple rule you remember. Bank has debited, so we will credit bank. Bank has credited, we will debit the bank. The simple rule for this is required. So friends, total explanations are over. So today our whole time was focused on these explanations about two columnar cash book where cash and bank both columns are there. So tomorrow we are doing it. There are two sums for cash and bank. So tomorrow that both sums we will complete. Today we have done all with the explanation. So I hope all will watch it today itself and may complete your notes within 1 week. Because there are many people who have still not completed the previous chapter. So there is 1 week maximum to complete all these things and cope up with my lecture. So that you may be able when the school reopens fast. Okay, now be fast. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.